Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Unlock Your Creativity. And just when you thought the series had gone, we're back. And we're here at Starlight today. And it's very apt that we're at Starlight in the junkyard because we have a very good and important question that has been asked by a lot of people just lately. I've certainly been asked it a number of times, and I've seen it being asked on various social media platforms. So let's get into the question. And the question is, how do you decide what to build in a new settlement? And it's, yeah, we could be here for hours, but I'm going to give you kind of what I do. I had to sit down and really go through and think about this really closely because the simple answer a lot of the time is I just start building and see what actually happens. But there are a number of things that you can do before you start building, and we'll try and put those together for you today, at least to help you get your head around what to do with a new settlement and maybe give you some ideas for the direction for that settlement. So you can see by the footage we're here at the castle, and that's the first point I want to make. The location of your settlement is very key to what you're going to build. And you know, the castle, obviously there is a whole backstory towards the castle. It's called the castle, so there's a bit of a hint. And obviously for me and for most of us, we will build a Minuteman settlement here. That doesn't mean you necessarily have to build a Minuteman settlement, but it certainly gives you at least a starting point, and that's really what you want to do first up. Grab yourself a starting point and make a decision. Now there are a couple of things that I generally have in my settlement, and I'll show you those now. Pretty much in every settlement I build, I will have each of these. Now obviously some of these are governed by the game. Things like power, electricity, food, water, defences and beds are all governed by the game, because that's what you have to do in your first tutorial. Once you liberate Sanctuary, it takes you through very early in the game and makes you do various things to make sure that you have those for your settlement. So straight away you have a starting point, I guess. Obviously you don't have to have shops straight away, but if you have the resources, why not? I always put, as we showed you a couple of weeks ago, I always put a workshop in, so all my crafting benches are all together in one place, and places to store anything I go and gather at in the Commonwealth. I like to have them, especially weapons and armor and stuff like that. I like to have them all in one kind of area. And number 7 is resources, and I'll explore that in a little bit more detail in a minute. So location is very important. It will give you an indication. There are a number of things that the game requires you to do that also gives you some kind of direction. And I know, talking to a lot of people, they talk about actually coming up with a theme for their settlement. And so location, the bare minimum requirements, and a theme can give you a very, very good and firm idea what you want to do and where you want to, what you want to build and how you want to build it. So let's explore theme for a while. So as I said earlier, we're at the castle here, and you can see we are looking at a Brahmin swimming for some reason. But we're also on the river here, and your environment plays a very important role. At least for me, it's a very important role for me when I'm building. There's some water there. We've obviously got a castle. If you decided to build a Minuteman settlement at the castle, then it gives you straight away a direction on maybe what to build. Obviously Minutemen are protecting the Commonwealth. You think about the backstory. obviously the castle is a defensive building, so there's going to be lots of defenses. You need to power that settlement, etc. So it starts to give you a kind of overall theme or direction, whatever you want to call it. If we go back to the footage we started with, and here we are at Starlight Junkyard. You know, when I looked at Starlight, I saw a whole lot of cars lying around, and so plus the fact that I'd been out questing and come across a junkyard, put those two together, and that gave me a theme for the junkyard at Starlight. And also, as if you have seen those videos, you'll know there's a mechanic's house there, there's an Atom Cat's garage there, there's a number of buildings that I've built around a specific theme, and everything that I've used in the build is either junky or mechanical, or you know, in and around that theme. So let's just explore environment a little bit more. So here we are at Cutler's Bend. Thank you very much, Proton Rads. If you don't know, Proton Rads, who is a subscriber and a friend of the channel, has thrown down the gauntlet as such and given me a challenge to build here at Cutler's Bend, which is close to Gunners Plaza. And yeah, I need to talk to him a little bit later, because this is an extremely dangerous place to be. In fact, I don't think I've ever killed so many things just having a look around in all the time I've played Fallout. So one of the important things to do as far as environment and trying to come up with a theme as well, and looking what kind of buildings you're going to make, is when you first get to a new settlement, at least this is what I do, and we're talking about this in how to get inspiration in the last Unlock Your Creativity. One of the things I like to do is go and have a good look around, and I go quite far when I look around. So you can see there's some railway carriages there. There's obviously a railway bridge. There's cars there, and yeah, as I said, there's been all manner of things tried to attack me, and I've only been here like 5 minutes. That's Gunners Plaza. You can see along there on the railway line there is an old, I think it's probably a signal box, what they call signal box in Australia. I'm not sure what they call it in other places, but again, you can see. And what I'd like you to concentrate on is be very meticulous in seeing what kind of buildings are around, what kind of materials are around, what kind of items are around, because it will help you immensely. Also, the fact that this is where it is, there's Gunners Plaza, you're going to have to heavily fortify this settlement to some degree. So you have water and marshes, and you can see I'm very nervous because any minute I'm going to get attacked. There's lots of marshes, and within the marsh there's this little cabin here, and now as you can see there's eggs there. I have been attacked by every conceivable thing in the game. Obviously there's been some kind of military presence here, and this is the area that I kind of ended up kind of coming to. Now I got attacked by Mirelurkings down here. Not one, not two, but 3 of them. That was an interesting 5 minutes of my life I'm not going to get back. But anyway, I come over here, there's lots of boats, and then I saw this thing. So I'm looking at, you see I'm still nervous, I'm having a good look around, but this thing up here, I love the look of this, and this is really going to influence me heavily, I think. Where obviously somebody has been living here in the marsh, hiding and surviving. So environment plays a lot of things, and you can see that. Have a look at the materials. There's wood, there's obviously railway carriages that you're going to be able to utilise, there's cars that you're going to be able to utilise. There was even the odd shipping container, sitting in the river there, or the marshes. So Theme is one thing. Environment is the second thing. And then ask yourself, well, who's actually going to be living here? And all those things combined should allow you to at least come up with something as a starting point. As I said at the start of the segment, this is a very hard question to answer because you're talking about a process that is a creativity process, and you know, I don't really want to stunt the creativity process by having hard and fast rules. This was really designed to give you some idea, maybe some processes you can go through that will kind of just spark something if you're struggling to come up with something for a new settlement that you're building or you're about to start. Now, the answer can be as simple as this. Are you going to build a settlement that has a scrappy look about it, or are you going to build a settlement that has a clean look about it? We have many people that we support and who are supporters of this channel, and they fall into both categories. And just by building a couple of simple buildings, it can just spark a whole idea or a whole direction for your settlement. Now, I have one thing I want to say lastly. Having said all that, you can completely ignore everything and rewrite the rules once you know them. This is Fallout 4, right? So the best example I can give you of that is that you can build or have one single idea, such as the temple here at Starlight, and that one single idea can spark a whole settlement. I hope you've enjoyed this, guys. It's a very difficult question to answer, absolutely. All I've tried to do with this Unlock Your Creativity video is to try and give you some ideas or some directions on potentially what you can do if you're struggling to figure out what to do with a new settlement. I hope it helps a lot. It's great to see so many people are still enjoying the game, and we're getting new people coming in and using Fallout, and especially the building process of Fallout, all the time. And this is one of those questions that a few people struggle with. Guys, happy building. Hope you enjoyed it, and we will catch you next time.